Oh, there's.
It's a sign if he's got his hats on. He has a fedora hat, doesn't he? So
Yeah.
right, I'll let you get on your visit.
Oh, right, so nice one. Well, hello and welcome to the Stoke Kairas. Welcome to Wrexham. I'm Mark Griffiths. I'll soon be joined by Mark Howard and Mia Roberts, of course, for this fascinating game. It's got so much going on as a narrative. Wrexham against Coventry City. Wrexham looking for redemption after the frustration of last Tuesday against a Coventry team who, let's make no bones about it, are in the best form of any team in the league in the top 5 divisions so far this season. And I'll be honest with you, I would argue strongly are going to win the league this season. I think they're class. I've seen more of Coventry this season than any other team. I think they're terrific. But I kind of fancy us tonight, whisper it. I feel a lot more confident than before the Cardiff game, if I'm totally honest with you. I think the squad need to show a reaction. And I know there's 10 changes, but it's still all one squad, if you see what I mean. This is going to be fascinating. So let's have a look at those teams. 10 changes for Wrexham. So in goal, Arthur Okonkwo. The back three, Dom Hyam, Dan Scarr and Max Cleworth. The wing-backs, Issa Kabore on the right, Libby Kakache on the left. The centre of midfield is interesting. We've got the one player left over from last Tuesday. That's Lewis O'Brien. And alongside him, 2 ex-Coventry players, funnily enough. Matty James and back from injury, Ben Sheaf. Up front, Josh Windass plays off the big man up front, Kiefer Moore. Wrexham's bench has got plenty of quality and plenty of attacking intent as well. So we've got Callum Burton as the backup keeper, Connor Cody, James McLean, Ryan Longman, George Thomason, George Dobson, and then an attacking trio with quite a lot about them, Sam Smith, Nathan Broadhead, and Ryan Hardy. So lots and lots of attacking intention in that Wrexham side. Coventry, managed of course by one of the great legends of English football in the 21st century, Frank Lampard. Well, they are in ludicrous form. They're top of the table. They are scoring at just under 3 goals per game. Yes, just under 3 goals per game. They have the 3rd best defence in the division and the most clean sheets as well. Nobody in the top 5 leagues is unbeaten except them. They are a potent force, but they do have players out today. And I must say, although that maybe isn't the worst thing in the world for Wrexham, I have to point out, yes, they have players out, but by the same token, they have been enjoying this terrific run of wins with those players out injured. So, or some of them at least. So let's not get too carried away with their absentees, although they are quality players who are missing for them. So in goal they have Carl Rushworth, who the talk is that he may well be the 3rd choice keeper for England in their next squad. Their defence, there's a lot of talk that they would go to 3 at the back. I don't think they have. It doesn't look like anyway. Van Ewijk, who is an outstanding fullback, maybe the best fullback in this division, is suspended, and so coming in is summer signing Kane Kesley Hayden for his first start of the season in the league. They've also changed on the left. Josh De Silva, the Welsh international, has been left out. Jake Bidwell plays in his place. And at centre-back, Bobby Thomas, who's a terrific central defender, who essentially Coventry bought rather than Callum Doyle, who was on loan with them to a season. He's not fit. And so Luke Wolfenden plays alongside Liam Kitching. In midfield, Matt Grimes is highly, highly respected at this level. A really high-quality central midfielder. Watch out to see if Wrexham do something special to keep an eye on him. And Jamie Allen is playing alongside him because they have injuries, like I said. Jack Rodoni their real star player who plays off the striker, he's missed all of these 6 wins that they've managed, and so he's not playing. And Victor Torp has been out since the last match, injured as well. On the flanks and in the second line, they have terrific quality. Tatsuhiro Sakamoto is class. Efren Mason-Clark is a player of real creativity and goal threat. And then, of course, you've got Brandon Thomas Asante, who is the top scorer in the division. And then through the middle, Haji Wright, who 1 goal behind him, is the second top scorer in the division. There's a lot going on going forwards for this Coventry side, who are, I promise you, going to be one heck of a challenge. But I feel kind of positive about this. I figure we've got something to bounce back from. We've made a lot of changes, and I'm glad to say that Mark and Mia, they finished their stint on Wrexham Live. Watch out for them at half-time, of course, and after the match on the club's YouTube channel. But, well, Mark, this is the sort of game a professional is thinking, right, we got to put it right here. Sorry, Mark, I didn't put your mic on. That was classy of me.
Turn me off there. Now, this is the type of game that you'll be relishing as a player. Obviously, you want to pit yourself against the best, and currently Coventry are the best in the league. They've got the best defensive record and the best attacking record. Obviously, I'm hoping that Wrexham get a result tonight, but it's going to be an exciting game, whatever happens.
They're a very attacking side, aren't they? I mean, I'm just saying, that attacking 4, if you will, Wright, Mason, Clark, Sakamoto, and of course Thomas Asante. I mean, they do well to balance their team with so many attacking players in it, but they're exciting to watch. They're fluent, they've got real width, but they've also got players who'll get in from wide positions to score. I'm starting to scare myself. I need to shut up.
Yeah, they get a lot of crosses in the box, and then they've got willing runners as well, obviously in Wright and Thomas Asante, that actually get into the box and try and get on the end of those crosses. But yeah, they're an exciting team at the moment. I think that Wrexham tonight will try and get at Coventry, which will be really pleasing to see, especially after the game against Cardiff. I think that Wrexham are going to try and take the game to them and really put a high press on and start with a lot of energy and then just see where it pounds out.
Yeah, absolutely, and there is something to make up, isn't there? Even though it's 10 changes, but yeah, still the same squad, and they'll all feel the responsibility for Tuesday and want to make it right.
Oh, absolutely. I think, look, if you look at that squad, there's a lot of experience out there, which is really good to see in moments like this when you come in off the back of what was a really disappointing night on Tuesday. But we're quick to forget how good of a day it was on the Saturday at Middlesbrough. So they've just got to take what they got from that game, really, all the positives from that day, because it was a really positive day for Wrexham, and try and get something tonight.
So here we go, Wrexham kicking towards the Kop in the first half in our usual red shirts, white shorts, red socks. Coventry in their traditional all sky blue kit. And remember, you can get in touch using the hashtag AskWrexham, ASKWXM, on Twitter and Blue Sky, as Coventry goes straight back to Rushworth, and he pings a huge ball towards the edge of the area. Firm header clear by Hyam, the skipper, against his old team. He gets up again to win another header, and O'Brien scoops it on to the halfway line. Good noise here from both sets of fans as the ball goes out for a throw. And a first chance for Caslin Hausler, who's, like I said, making his league first start to get the ball. Kagache knocks it long, too long for more. I don't want to seem simplistic, but I think showing the crowd that we are going to get close to the Coventry players from the start and get in their faces is going to be important to get that atmosphere going. You see it now, Kessler Hayden feeding it into the middle of the pitch and receiving it back. He pops it back into his own half, and again Wrexham just looking to hurry Wolfenden more than chases Rushworth, and his clearance intercepted. Nice cushion ball by Kagache. Here is Sheaf, who started the season as Coventry's captain and gets an appreciative round of applause. A typical tidy piece of play. Hyam, Kagache's offering. Hyam instead dinks it into the middle of the pitch. Doesn't get quite enough on that, and Grimes is able to intercept it. Big to see Sheaf back, though, you feel, as the ball is fed forwards, and Wright's turned nicely now. A little bit of space in the hole. Thomas Asante helping it on to the left-hand side. Bidwell in ahead of the Welsh international Josh Da Silva. Coventry are being hassled in the middle of the pitch. Bidwell feeds it down the flank in the end. Wrexham, though, keeping tight, and that's that familiar mid-block, and Wrexham really smothered Coventry well there, I thought.
Yeah, they did really well. Early signs, though, what someone like Grimes can do on the ball, just that little flick around the corner. He's been so good for Coventry this year. Swansea were gutted to lose him last season. He's been really influential in this Coventry side.
It'll be really interesting to see how O'Brien goes up against him tonight. I can almost see him playing man for man against him tonight and trying to stifle his play.
Yeah, he's a player that makes things tick, isn't he? He's proven quality at this level. That's a nice idea. Rushworth looking for Sakamoto, does well to nod it down, and Coventry have a chance now to come forward with Kessler Hayden. Sakamoto again, taking on Kakachi onto his left foot, sweeps across to the far post, far too much on that. It goes for the goal kick. Coventry with plenty of the ball early on. You would expect that though, but Wrexham holding it at arm's length.
It's what we know about Coventry as well. They do like to get the ball forward, a bit direct, but then they do like to get crosses in when available. So yeah, that one's just slightly overhit, but yeah, I think there was a really good line from the Wrexham defence as well that stops Coventry getting any encouragement from that.
Yeah, there's a fluidity as well about that attacking four, if you will.
They're very well drilled in that as well, though, Mark.
Okonkwo going long, Windass wrestling, it bounces beyond him. Moore's unlucky, tries not it down for him, but Liam Kitchen intercepts, and Coventry go direct. Cleworth underneath it, good header, finds Kabore on the right. He tries to skip away from his man. Good persistent play by Kabore, and Wrexham have it now in midfield. As it's James feeding it back into his own half. First chance Wrexham have had really to get a little bit of passing rhythm going. Cleworth to the halfway, and Kabore has got O'Brien making a run ahead of him, which creates a bit of a gap. And in the end, well, the throw goes against Wrexham. Kabore looks annoyed, but it looked like the correct decision. Throw taken short, and it's again chance for Grimes, who is quickly picked up by Wrexham midfield by O'Brien, as Mark suggested. The ball back with Rushworth. Windass chasing him, but Rushworth not to be hurried. Calm ball out. The header into the middle of the pitch, just about hits its target. Is won back well by Kakachi now. Moore under pressure, does very well to hold off Haji Rice, who comes away from it holding his face, maybe in a little bit of accidental contact, nothing sinister. Matty James now in the centre of the pitch. Hyam popping it backwards. Scar being kept honest by Thomas Asante as Kabore tries to clip it round the corner, but Kitching is a real class act. He reads that comfortably and intercepts, goes back to his keeper. I mean, he's a player with a lot of pedigree. Just won the European Under-21 Championship this summer. Not bad. Rushworth overhits that. Throw to Wrexham.
Yeah, a rare misplaced pass there from Rushworth. I think that's what they do rely on as well, Coventry, and he's very well known for his distribution, Carl. England think a lot of him. Obviously the 6 clean sheets this season shows that Coventry think very highly of him as well.
Yeah, and with that left foot, he keeps pinging those balls out to the right with accuracy, doesn't he?
He has done, but then the 2 times that he's been put under pressure, once from Kiefer Moore, once from Windass, he has lost the ball. He's kicked him out of play or stitched someone else up. So I think that's a key feature tonight, is that Wrexham will put him under pressure.
As Sheaf intercepts well, and it's good vision by James, feeding out to Kabore on the right, prods it down the line. Moore back to goal, is challenged firmly, but ricochets to Cleworth. Nice little pass inside, and a lovely turn creates a bit of space in midfield for Wrexham. Good work that by Sheaf. James helps it on one. Hyam now feeding it back into the Wrexham half. Scar, Coventry put pressure on again, but James nicely around the corner, and Sheaf opens play up. Kakachi in a sprint will just be beaten to it by Wolfenden on the edge of the area, and as Mark said, Rushworth under pressure slices it out. Throw to Wrexham, level the edge of the area.
Yeah, really nice play from Wrexham. That's something you're going to get in this Wrexham side when you have someone like Matty James and Ben Sheaf as your middle two. They're so calm and composed on the ball, just always seem to make that right decision. Not sure whether the Sheaf pass was intended to go all the way through.
Throw in taken, and Kakashi rips a great cross in. Windass hits it over. It was a difficult take for him. It ricocheted off Wolfenden, And Windass was in space on the penalty spot, but it bounced behind him, and he basically had to retreat and hit it while moving away from goal. Couldn't keep it down. Difficult skill to take, but good early moment for Wrexham.
And a really good cross from Kakache. That should give him a load of confidence. Puts in a wicked ball, very hard to defend, and Windass just running backwards on the ball, slightly leaning back. It's a hard technique to keep that down.
So, first chance to Wrexham. Ball goes out for a throw into Coventry on the halfway line. And it's taken quickly and fed quickly back in turn to Kitching. Stands up the diagonal. That's a good idea again for Sakamoto, who's looking to get in behind Kakache. Well dealt with by Hyam. Kakache in trouble on the edge of the area is helped out by Sheaf. And Hyam looks for more in the air. Touched on beautifully. O'Brien now running at the last two defenders. Great defending that by Kitching. Wrexham looking to put pressure on. And it's a nice turn away from trouble by Grimes, who then stands it up straight into the hands of Okonkwo. A dangerous moment there, though.
Yeah, and I was talking about the composure of Ben Sheaf and Matty James, but how about that? Matty Grimes just makes it look so easy, doesn't he? It's not easy, that. Just a quick look round his shoulder, that's all it is, really.
That's a mistake with the ball at the back, gives Coventry a cheap corner.
Yeah, just a lazy pass from Kabore, not concentrating, not got his head up and looked at Maxi. Just fires one back to him there.
So Wrexham will be tested from a set piece for the first time. Everyone back defending. Coventry have got a player at the near post, another arriving into the goal mouth now. Referee just holds things up for a moment. Big crowd of Coventry players around the penalty spot. Scar manhandling Wright, who's dancing around, trying to evade him and then complaining to the ref. Ref gives the go-ahead anyway. It's swept in, the header, just wide. That was a real chance. That Okonkwo had no opportunity. Close range header, glance just wide. Kitching was it, I think, who made the contact. And Wrexham, we were lucky there, to be honest. Great delivery, good header.
Yeah, I thought it was in. Like you say, Okonkwo just rooted. It's a really whipped ball in, isn't it? It's so difficult. But it just all burst out, the Coventry players. Really difficult to defend. Ben Sheaf, to be fair to him, just gets in front. I think there is maybe a slight push in the back, but real chance for Coventry.
Long kick by Okonkwo. Moore gets it well, flicks it on. Windass on the chase will bring it down. Well, he was looking to back in, and it was alert play by Allen to step in ahead of him. And again, Coventry looking for that early diagonal for Sakamoto on the right. They really are leaning on that tactic, aren't they, to try and open Reckon up and get him in behind Kakache. They've seen Kakache getting forwards. They want to exploit that.
Yeah, and Sakamoto's so good on the ball as well. I think they're trying to feed him either in behind or try and drop it into his feet. They know that he's got a bit of magic. It's a good tactic from Coventry, to be fair. They know that they've got plenty of options with right through the middle. They've got a physical presence, and then they know that they've got Sakamoto on outside.
Windass chases Kitching, forcing a back pass. Long kick by Rushworth to the left flank. Well won in the air by Cleworth. Loose ball falls for Sheaf. He does beautifully. Tidy play. Finds James, who dinks through the middle looking for more. Just too much on that, but Windass can get onto the second ball. O'Brien is on, and he feeds him. O'Brien one-on-one on his left foot. Oh dear. Made a hash of it. Here's Kabore now on the edge of the box. Feeds it to O'Brien on the right flank. Left-footed cross. Headed away at the near post. Wrexham looking to win the second ball and put it back in. It's cleared, but Scar drills a good ball to Windass. Heavy touch. Sakamoto's done brilliantly to nick it from him. Can he break? He bursts between Sheaf and James, and now it's Coventry at the other end. Haji Wright is in the middle. Thomas Asante rather leaves the ball behind him though, and it's a good foot in to clear it, but what a chance for O'Brien, and he just couldn't sort his feet out.
No, it's such a big chance. I thought the touch actually was all right. I thought he had the opportunity to get the shot off, but maybe he just doubts himself for that split second, and then the chance is gone.
I don't think he needed to take the touch. I think if he hits it first time, tries to put it across the goalkeeper, maybe a little bouncing one across the surface.
It was a fabulous ball by Windass, absolute perfection, like you're saying. It seemed to be asking to be struck.
But then it shows on the flip side of that, Coventry straight away with a counter-attack. Sakamoto driving through the middle. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game tonight.
Absolutely. It's been gripping already. 12th minute, no goals. Both sides have had big chances. Long ball forwards again, looking for Sakamoto. This time Hyam comes across, wins the header. Kakache's beaten to the loose ball, but it's headed clear by Matty James. Helped on by Grimes. Now here is Sakamoto. Hyam steps out, early diagonals. An awkward one for Cleworth. It does well to get a foot to it. There's still danger, but Kabore wins a free kick. Might have been a little lucky there as the ball was bouncing away from him. But free kick goes Wrexham's way.
Yeah, I think he's very lucky. Didn't look like a foul to me, but that's what you have to do as a defender. Just get your body in the way. He feels just that little shove. Feeds onto the pressure, but good job referee gave it because Mason Clark was all on his own.
Yeah, had loads of space on the left, didn't he? And he had players up in support too. As Okonkwo takes another long kick. Moore, good play, heads it behind Kakache on the chase, but it'll be run out of play for a throw-in to Coventry.
Kiefer Moore is an absolute goalkeeper's dream to kick to. Wow. I'm sat here watching it going, I would have loved to have had him up top. Ollie Palmer did a great job, but Kiefer Moore has got something else in the air.
He does so well, doesn't he, when, he put it in his zone and he'll get there. He's more mobile than people realise as Wrexham put pressure on the counter press and get the throw level of the edge there.
It's the intelligence of his headers and his flicks as well. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's bringing other people into play and he's holding two men off at a time.
Windass makes a nice run. Kakache's throw comes off a defender. Kessler Hayden for the corner, left-hand side. Scar and Hyam make their way up from the back. O'Brien is getting further forwards when Wrexham have the ball, almost leaving Sheaf and James as a sort of double pivot, with him trying to get up and support and go beyond the strikers. What a shame that tactic worked to treat and he didn't get the shot off.
We talked about this earlier about him playing almost man for man on Grimes, but you can see that he then is trying to break in behind him, find those little pockets of space and hope that Grimes doesn't track him.
In-swinger then, Wrexham crowding Rushworth. Matty James will take the in-swinger. He signals with his left arm. There's movement beyond the far post from Moore, and the referee doesn't like that. Stops James. The ref has stopped both corners and told players off, but doesn't go walk up and tell them. James whips it in nicely. Rushworth only half clears it. It's hooked back over the keeper and headed away and behind for another corner. It was Hyam who scooped it back in. And that was a dangerous one. I mean, to be fair to Rushworth, he took the responsibility and came for it through a crowd. It was very difficult to get any distance on that punch, and Wrexham nearly benefited.
He's not trying to punch that, he's tried to catch that, and because his arms are low while jumping high, he's actually dropped the ball on top of a shoulder, and Hyam does really well to flick it back over him. It's just unfortunate that it's not fell to a Wrexham head.
Ball swung in nicely under the bar, and it goes behind. I think that's come off Moore last goal kick. Crowd are angry, but looked like Moore got there first and just didn't arrive at a height for him to really get any leverage on his contact. But yeah, Wrexham are making chances, no question about that. Rushworth spotting the ball up, will go long, and it's Kabore underneath it, and he looks to be foul. Yeah, the ref does give it. I thought he hadn't for a moment, and it was much more of a foul than the one that was given to him a couple of minutes ago, and against Mason Clark. Wrexham take it quickly, early ball by Windass, a cute idea, and it's a sliced clearance. Unlike in the first half against Cardiff, Wrexham are making Coventry's defenders defend with some earlier deliveries in, and that was just an edgy moment for Wolfenden.
Yeah, well, Wolfenden came in, I think, on deadline day for Coventry from Ipswich. Hasn't necessarily had as many starts as he probably would have been hoping to. Last time he did start was in a back three, actually, so that's something maybe to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Bobby Thomas is the usual centre-back alongside Kitching. He went off injured. Well, not injured, more as giving him a rest because he was tired, is what Lampard said after Saturday's game. But he's not playing today as Coventry have moved fluently from left to right. Sakamoto now with Kakache and Hyam up against him. They hassle him, Kakache getting tight and shoving him towards the corner flag. Good work by Sakamoto, digs out a ball to Kessler Hayden. and he feeds it back in turn to Allen, 25 yards out into the D, back to goal. Great defending that by Sheaf, who robs the ball and feeds it forwards. Moore holds it up nicely. Kakache, it's all very tight in there, and Sheaf again, clever, just draws the contact. And Thomas Asante has given away the free kick, but nice tidy play by him then.
Yeah, and really calm as well in possession. Obviously keeper holding the ball up, Kakache bouncing the ball back into Sheaf, and then very clever in what he knows what he's doing there, winning that free kick.
Here's Cleworth now, knocking it into the centre circle. Moore gets up, doesn't make contact. Wrexham feel there was a handball in there, not given. And Coventry are now building down the left-hand side. Ball driven forwards. Scarred as well to get a foot in and nick it away from right. But the danger doesn't go away. Mason Clark on the left-hand side can't get past Kabore. So Coventry move it around in midfield. There's a real good pace to this game. Good hassling in midfield by O'Brien. Throw to Coventry. About 15 yards into Wrexham's half. And it'll be taken by Bidwell. So he looks around for movement. There isn't much. Eventually, Wright shows for him. And the ball's won back, and Sheaf looks to play it over the top. It was a nice idea, but Kitching intercepts, and then it's the ref who decides, as it's dropped to Wolfenden, that Coventry can carry on. And down the right-hand side, it's Kessler Hayden working it square. Allen helping us on. Coventry shifting it now from right to left. Wrexham in their mid-block. Bit more depth on that pass. Grimes working it to Sakamoto again. Cuts inside Kakache. Feeds it to the edge of the D, where it's one wet. Well, Sheaf stepped in. I've got to say, I thought he just nicked that ball away from Thomas Asante. With free kicks given, sort of on the, just about in a shooting position, this, an essential spot.
Yeah, that can go either way. That's obviously just the ref being a bit closer than us and having a better sight of it. But a real key feature of Coventry's play is getting the ball out to Sakamoto and him driving on in the inside. The inverted winger technique is really working for Coventry. A good player, to be fair. He's held off the ball well in the corner flag. He's shown some real glimpses of quality and some good delivery into the middle.
Yeah, he's got a lot of class, hasn't he? But both inverted wingers. He's quite predictable. He wants to come square and inside straight away, but it's one thing knowing he wants to do that, another thing getting the ball off him. He protects the ball really well. So, free kick, standing over it are Grimes and Wright. And it's going to be left for Wright, who certainly is looking like he wants to line up a shot. Grimes has stayed in the area, actually steps in. He hits it well, and Okonkwo gets across. It goes just wide. Okonkwo had it covered. He got across behind his wall really quickly there. It's a good strike.
Yeah, and great knowing his angles as well, letting it go out for a corner. It's quite easy as a goalkeeper to get sucked in and just give that a little hand on it and just push it wide for a corner just to make sure. But yeah, Arthur had his angles covered there brilliantly.
It's a goal kick. Okonkwo to take. Moore lurks on the left flank. Okonkwo goes short to Cleworth. Cleworth now down the line to Kabore. Kabore trying to get half turning, but he's got Bidwell tight on him. Matty James over the top. It's a great ball. Windass now draking down the right. Moore in the middle and O'Brien. Two marked by two. And good defending by Kitching, but it falls to O'Brien. What a save by Rushworth. He had no right to save that. His left foot stuck out. Brilliant to deny O'Brien. Kakache, right-footed cross is a good one. O'Brien chests it down. Windass drills it, hits the defender, and Moore, well, it hit him. He didn't know it was coming. He was all alone in front of goal, but he just didn't see the ricochet, and it bounced off him. Wrexham hassling the crowd, getting behind him. And then Coventry have to clear long. Cleworth, good touch, feeds it down the flank, and Coventry is still open here. Windass on the right, has Kabore on the overlap. Inside to O'Brien, he turns inside. Matty James, the crowd are loving this. It's swept out to Kabore, who's got his man isolated, and he goes past him. Kabore, right-footed cross, doesn't get hold of it properly, but it's heads out for a throw, and listen to those Wrexham fans. It's taken quickly. Cleworth back to Kabore. Wrexham have Coventry on the ropes. Kabore rips a good ball in. Great header, clear that at the far post, and it's launched all the way to Okonkwo on the volley from the edge of the Coventry area. They just needed to get that clear. Wow, real drama, and Wrexham just couldn't get the ball to the net.
Great few minutes that for Wrexham. It really shows that they've worked on countering leaving 3 up front almost, with O'Brien making that third man. But yeah, great save from Rushworth. There's not a lot else I don't think O'Brien can do. He keeps it low, he drills it hard. Yeah, just a really good save. Rushworth 6 out of foot and does enough.
He's drilled it, hasn't he, from 15 yards back the direction it's come from. Rushworth's got no right to make that save. That's ludicrous. What a long leg snaking out, and O'Brien nailed that shot. And what a ball by James to send Windasser. Now Sakamoto, that's a great ball in, and it's scored. It's there. Coventry take the lead, and that is why they're top of the table, because they can play in balls of that quality from Sakamoto from deep, lifting it over the defence. And Mason Clark is there with a lovely finish on the half volley. He's one-on-one, and he just keeps his cool and drills it, keeping it flat. And well, there you go. Wrexham have shown their mettle, but against a team of Coventry's quality, if you don't take your chances, they'll punish you.
Absolutely. That's the championship right there for you. Again, it's Sakamoto, isn't it? We've spoken about him a number of times in this first half. It's just that directness. He just wants to go forward every time. It's a great little run by Mason Clark. I think he is just onside. He keeps his eye on it all the way. It's a really nice little finish as well.
Really intelligent finish. Arthur's almost caught in the middle there. It's not no man's land, it's not the goalkeeper's ball, but he's just trying to close down the distance. But yeah, really intelligent finish to reverse it and go near post.
He's done well to control that, hasn't he, in his sliding in and keeping it down. That's a wonderful finish on the slide. Just moments after Wrexham were denied by that ludicrous save by Rushworth. His body weight going one way, the ball goes the other, and he saves it. Amazing save that by Rushworth. As now Wrexham under pressure. Cleworth plays the back pass, and Conquo gets rid of distance through the middle. Windasser is wrestling with Kitchen. Good strong defending, but Wrexham gets to the second ball. Sheaf early out to Gaborio again. Hares down the right, 3 players in the box. Whips into a good area. Kitchen as well to cover his near post. Heads it up in the air. It's headed clear. Not that far though, and Sheaf floats it back in. Too much on that. In those situations, and I'm loath to criticise Sheaf. I love Sheaf, and he never wastes the ball, or rarely. When you got more in there, you got to make sure you get it into his area, haven't you, to attack it.
As Mia said, this is the championship. It's so tough. I mean, the last 5-6 minutes have been really entertaining. Nothing but Wrexham, really. And then, yeah, they get caught with a good cross from Sakamoto and a great run from Mason Clark. It just that is this level. You get punished.
It's such a high-class game, this, as here now come Coventry. Down the left of Bidwell. He lays it back into midfield. Allen in the centre circle. Coventry moved it around nicely there to the right. So Kessler Hayden feeds a good pass forwards. Hadji Wright working it wide. It's a great run by Kessler, and Sakamoto tries a similar sort of ball, and it's brought down by Kessler Hayden, who leaves it for a moment, and that just allows Kakache to step in. He just left it for Hadji Wright, so I think Kessler Hayden should have had to go himself. Sheaf battling away, but loses out in the end to Thomas Asante. And Coventry come forwards once more. The intensity in this game. Sakamoto deep on the right, squares it. Allen, Wrexham in that mid-block again. Ball pinged out to the right-hand side. Kessler Hayden. There's a quality about the way that Coventry just recirculate that ball. As under pressure, Allen picks a lovely ball out, which isolates Cleworth, being run at by Mason Clark. He hits the goal line. Cleworth stayed on his feet well, and when it's drilled in, it's put behind by Scar for the corner. But again, that quality of attacking four.
Yeah, the intent when Coventry attack, the pace that they go at, you can really see that they've got real clear direction of what they're doing, that they isolate defenders one against one, and there's plenty of willing runners in the box as well for anything that does come across.
So corner, last one of course, led to a free header at the near post, which went just wide. Coventry have 2 players in the 6-yard box on a Conquo. Like last time, a crowd round the penalty spot. He's split now as the ball's played towards him again. Coventry make first contact, and Conquo does well. It was a glancing Wolfenden header towards the far post, and it was awkward for a Conquo to use his height to pour it behind for another corner. So first corner from the right-hand side. It was nice delivery that by Grimes. And Conquo couldn't leave it because there was a player attacking it coming in at the far post. So, again, the referee's done one of his long distance warnings about shirt pulling, and here comes an in-swinging corner. Swept towards the far post and headed back out there. Firm defensive header by Cleworth. Another corner on the right for Grimes to whip in.
We've had 5 corners in the game so far, and the attacking team each time has had the first contact. It shows the real quality that both teams do possess when taking set pieces.
Here comes Grimes once more then. Coventry are 3 players on the far post, 2 beyond it. Swept beyond it, nasty ball in, important header clear by Scar. Ricochets, Windass has a lovely pass now. O'Brien has no support, but he does well. He finds Moore, who pings the ball back. He's overhit it. O'Brien will still chase and force Rushworth to come out of the box. Oh, and he does a little matador turn. Dumps O'Brien on his backside, and O'Brien still manages to get up and hassle Rushworth. Fair play to him. He slid a distance on his backside and then still got up and battled away, but Coventry able to deal with it.
That's the quality that Rushworth does possess when in possession. Yeah, I think we all know that he can do that. It's just if you can catch him trying to take those risks is when Wrexham might pay dividends, to just keep pressing him. Keep that work rate. You see the way that O'Brien is pressing the goalkeeper. Yes, he is going to take chances like that. Obviously, when he does a trick like that and manages to turn you, it pays off. But hopefully Wrexham can keep on that pressure, and you never know.
How many keepers, though, in that situation, even if they do the chop, and then see Lewis O'Brien still there with panic? He's so calm,
just
isn't he?
Mia, I think.
Big diagonal then from Okonkwo. Moore helps it on well, just beyond Windass. Coventry feed it back again to Rushworth. Windass goes to him.
I'd actually hate to know what Mia would say when I was doing that sort of stuff.
Well, I'm loving this. Mia and I were in the middle of a goalkeeping masterclass. We've got Mark on one side of us and then commentating for the Coventry West Midlands. Oh, hang on, here's Windass on the right now then. He's got Moore in the middle. O'Brien arriving late. Windass scuffs it in and Kitching again. Defends his near post really well, but it wasn't the best ball in by Windass. Didn't quite get the contact he wanted as Hyam coolly back to his keeper. Yeah, to the right of me is Steve Griffiths, a real legendary keeper for Coventry when they won the Cup in '87. For Liverpool, he was back up to Ray Clements. I've got a half-time Steve Griffiths story I'm going to tell you all.
Yeah, a real goalkeeping legend right there.
Well, 2, to be fair. Coventry pushing up, Wrexham moving it around so well in tight space. O'Brien's getting some great positions. Windass made a nice run there. Kakache doesn't use him, but everything's just pulling Coventry around, trying to find some gaps. Hyam feeds a good ball across to the right. Cleworth to Kabore. Kabore has to go back to Okonkwo in the end. But it's got to be said, 30th minute, Wrexham a goal down, but I've got to be pleased with the way they've gone about this against the best team in the division. Have made chances, but been caught out by a moment of real quality. Here's Okonkwo now.
Well, I watched some of the Watford game, Watford against Coventry, and they were a little bit similar. Made a number of chances. I'm pretty sure their XG was higher than Coventry. That game finished 3-1 to Cov, but didn't actually make Rushworth really make a save. And that's what Wrexham really have to do if they're going to hit the target. I know he's made that one from Lewis O'Brien, but just looking at that Windass chance a few seconds ago, to get that ball into the box, he's just got to try and find a red shirt.
Mason Clark has looked more menacing since he scored. He's running at Kabore again, lays it off, cross comes in, good punch. Great punch by Okonkwo, who judged that to perfection and got terrific distance on it. Coventry have it back in midfield though.
Yeah, very good goalkeeping from Arthur then. Held his position really well in the middle of the goal, didn't retreat to his line as the cross came in, and yeah, very decisive punch, good distance on it, good height.
Ball worked over to Kessler, Hayden on the right-hand side. Here's Sakamoto once more, running at Hyam, fakes to go around the outside, then back onto the left foot again, pulls it back. Kessler, Hayden pulls it in. Mason Clark is offside at the far post, which explained why he was in so much space. But yeah, he's looking to time those runs in behind Kabore, isn't he?
Yeah, and Kabore just has to be careful, because I think if you look at the goal, that could maybe be pointed out as he just got caught ball watching a little bit on that one. I think he is, safe to say he is offside, but he just needs to watch that one.
I love him looking at Ask Wrexham on Blue Sky. Sherry saying we're only 20 minutes in and I'm already losing my voice from screaming at the TV, and that sums up the general reaction of people loving this game on Ask Wrexham as Windass does well to hold on to possession under pressure. He's got movement ahead of him and he looks for a big switch. Great ball to Kakache, who just about keeps it in and now cuts inside, taking on Kessler Hayden, leaning into him in the corner box. Defender does well. Sheaf inside to Matty James, 30 yards out. Kakache, O'Brien has found space on the left and Kakache finds him. Can he cross? Cuts onto his right foot instead. Kakache back into midfield. Hyam lets Sheaf take over. And Sheaf shifts the ball over to the right. Wrexham forcing Coventry back. Cleworth, good ball to Kabore, who sets himself, rips it in. Too much on that, but it'll go all the way across to Kakache by the corner flag. Rips a good ball in. Good header clear by Wolfenden. And the Wrexham fans again encouraged. Throw level the edge of the area, taken quickly. Hyam squares it to James. Wrexham really on the restarts are cracking on with business, getting it back on the pitch swiftly. Cleworth. Wrexham moving it around Coventry in their mid-block. Fed down to Windass, who pops it back into the centre circle. Kabore is screaming for it. Matty James can't see it because the considerable obstacle of Hadji Wright fills that passing channel. Wrexham moving around well. O'Brien is clipped. Referee decides it's a free kick. He waited to see if there's an advantage, but he's given it about 35 yards out, just right of centre. Chance to send the big men up.
Really nice to see Wrexham controlling the play in Coventry's half as well. Just keep moving the ball, keep probing, just keep trying to suss them out. It's just when it has gone into the wide areas, there's just been a slight lack of quality, not being able to quite pick out Kiefer Moore or one of the other attacking players.
So free kick, which Matty James will take. The ref's got the two-man wall back a hell of a long way. That looks more than 10 yards to me. As Coventry hold the line on the edge of the box, hoping that Wrexham players might go offside. The three centre-backs and Moore are all there, ready to make runs towards the goal mouth. Matty James signals. And finally the ref gives the go-ahead. James floats it in nicely. Hyam got there first. Referee gives a free kick against Cleworth, who just grabbed hold of Kessler Hayden. Free kick, or Mason Clark, I beg your pardon. Yeah, Ruby Slippers saying on Ask Wrexham, I swear there's 50 blue players on the pitch. Wow, they move it around quickly, don't they? But there have been spells when Wrexham have matched them. Aaron the Crowfather says, I'm panting. It's intense, isn't it?
But these are the games that Wrexham want to be involved in. Yeah. I mean, Coventry top of the league for a reason, but yeah, it's just... Oh, here we go.
Ooh, Rushworth had a heavy touch, but he got rid of it well enough as Windass pressured him.
Yeah, but these are the games that you want to be involved in. Obviously, Coventry at the top of the league. From where we've been 3 years ago to now, competing with some of the very best that are knocking on the door to the Premier League. This is the conversations we want to be in.
Windass offside. The crowd aren't happy. He was one-on-one with Rushworth, but he was offside. He'd just gone a bit too early. It was a nice move by Wrexham. Great ball, I think, by Cleworth from deep. They threaded it forwards and Kabore ripped it in, but Windass had gone too soon.
Yeah, again though, Wrexham, I know he's offside, but Wrexham finding those gaps.
Nasty long diagonal, but Cleworth manages to, if he can't actually deal with the ball in the air, at least stop Hadji Wright from getting contact, and Conco is quick to see it now. Moore has gone herring over the top. Sheaf uses his run to create space in front of him and finds Kabore. Now Sheaf's in support. Kabore, 30 yards out, driving forwards, overruns it in the end. But his pace just makes Bildwell a bit nervous. He just thrashes it out rather than see if Kabore's on him or not.
Kabore slipped about 3 or 4 times already this half. I hate to say the old cliche, but the managers will be questioning his footwear. But you really do want to see him getting at Bidwell. Obviously, Bidwell not playing many games this season, and Kabore does look so sharp, full of energy and pace. You just want to see him isolate him. Good
work by Scar to keep the ball in. Windass feeds it out. Oh, it's a brilliant ball by Sheaf round the corner. Kabore, first time cross. Moore's after it, headed clear. Kakache, left-footed drive over the bar. It just bounced up a bit for him. It was hard to get on top of it, but it was a decent strike by him. And Wrexham are having a good spell here, making the chances.
Yeah, they are. And it's that Kabore cross again. This is probably his best one of the game so far. Kiefer Moore got himself in a really good position. He's just hoping it drops to him. Goes all the way through to Kakache. he's only got one thing on his mind, doesn't he? Eyes on the ball, but just gets under it.
Long ball by Rushworth, headed partly away by Scar. Coventry win the second ball. It's great vision to sweep her out to the right by Thomas Asante. And now Kesler Hayden in the box, drills her across the face. Really well defended that under his bar by Kakache. Shot comes in and it's blocked. Hyam launches it clear. Kakache chasing that, forces an error, throw into Wrexham. Even when Wrexham are having a good spell, you just know that quality Coventry have got. They can come forwards and punish you again. But Wrexham are really showing that we can go toe-to-toe with the side of this calibre.
Yeah, but even in that defending, you see the amount of bodies that Wrexham got back between the goalposts. I think it was Kakache that made the block from the cross. But yeah, everyone really getting together, making it really difficult for Coventry to find that bit of space in the box.
Ball up to the halfway line, headed clear by Allen. Good strength to hold the ball up by Thomas Asante, and now Sakamoto again looking to go wide. Oh, a lovely play, just spins away from Kakache, but slips so Kakache can keep tight to him. Coventry go back to the halfway line in the end.
When teams have players of someone of Sakamoto's quality, you normally try and double up on them, but Coventry have got threats all over the pitch. As soon as you do double up on them, you lose a man somewhere else. That's when Coventry are at their best.
Yeah, Lampard's done well with the balance of them, and they got four real out-and-out great attacking players. On the right, you know, Kesler Hayden is joining in with them as much as he can, and yet they're still able to recover and not leave too many gaps on Wrexham break forwards. As here, Mason Clark's doing well, chasing the ball down, holding it up, waiting for support, stands across to the far post, and Sakamoto, I think probably judging that the one area that he wouldn't back himself against Kakache's in the air, gets up too early, and he ends up going beyond him for a goal kick.
Again, though, we've seen Carl Rushworth playing a long ball down the line. He does possess so much quality in that left foot. It's amazing to say that sometimes your goalkeeper can be such a good attacking threat.
Concord plays the goal kick short. Scar drills a good ball into midfield, and it's given a chance now for Wrexham to surge forward again. Sheaf carries it towards the edge of the area, lays it off to Kabore. 5 players in the box, sweeps it in. Great cover that by Allen, who gets back, hooks it away for a throw 30 yards out.
That's the second or third time that Wrexham have played short goal kicks, but they're really trying to suck the forward four of Coventry in so that they can just bypass their midfield almost. It's really good tactics. You see Matty James has swept one over the top for O'Brien running forward. Dan Scar's just picked out Hyam in the gap. It's really good play.
Wrexham put under pressure, are calm and move the ball around. Moore and Windass both as well. You know, when Coventry are stepping up, are really looking to time little runs in behind and offer themselves as targets. So that's nice play. O'Brien draws men to him. Sheaf then takes it and helps on to James. Good fluent play by Wrexham. Cleworth again to Kabore. Back out to James, 30 yards out. Windass feeds a ball in which O'Brien has to stretch, but he keeps control of it, and that's a good one on the corner by Windass to O'Brien. Left-footed drive, and Rushworth gets behind it well. It was well struck, but Rushworth is down to it sharply.
Wrexham are constantly testing the waters, though. It's really good to see O'Brien popping one off from distance there. You don't mind it just because it's mixing up the style of play. You can't become too predictable. You can't just keep forcing the ball wide and hoping those crosses find Kiefer Moore. So it's really good to see O'Brien making those runs as an 8, getting at the edge of the box and firing a shot off.
Yeah, just mixing it up, isn't it? You know, I mean, Kabore has been central to so much Wrexham are doing. Referee has given a free kick correctly to Coventry in the centre of the pitch, and he's not going to let them take it quickly. Again, correctly, he was talking to Wolfenden, and the kick was taken by Grimes. But yeah, I mean, as Steve Kunsley is saying on Ask Wrexham as well, that it's he said if you watch everything but about 10 seconds of this game, you could be forgiven for thinking Wrexham are top of the league. Well, we're certainly taking the game to a very high quality size, as the ball in the end is drilled clear. Poor clearance, Sheaf intercepts. Now Moore again has gone over the top. Again, Coventry step up to play him offside, and when it's cleared, it's a lunging challenge, and Wrexham win a free kick. Well, that was a great example of O'Brien putting his body in the way and drawing the kick, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, defensively O'Brien's playing as an 8, but in attacking wise he's then playing as a 10. So with Windass and O'Brien playing as two false 10s, it's really exciting when they do go forward. But yeah, O'Brien's got the fitness, the energy levels to get back and help out defensively.
Free kick then to Wrexham, about 35 yards out, right-hand side. Coventry hold a line just outside the D. Scar and Hyam lurking beyond the far post. They recirculate, but then the free kick by Sheaf is missed. Hesson Asante tries a cheeky shot from deep in his own half, doesn't get enough on it. But yeah, Sheaf just didn't quite get that right, and that was cheeky, that.
Yeah, he's just gone for that quick one in behind, hasn't he? And fair play to Thomas Asante, he just completely reads it.
Matty James looking for Kiefer Moore, who is one-on-one and miscontrols it. It's not the easiest take, to be fair, as it's coming over his shoulder, but it's just come off his knee as he tries to bring it down. What a moment that was.
Pretty sure we saw a Wrexham player last year, Sam Smith, latch onto one of those balls from Matty James.
Yeah, I remember that guy. As Wrexham win it back and they're coming forwards again, really finishing the half stronger. Kagache unlucky, tries Van O'Brien does well to get there. Helped round the corner by Moore to O'Brien. Windass is in the middle, cross comes in. Wolferton clears, is that a corner? No. Brilliant work by Kessler Hayden to stop it going behind acrobatically. Wrexham though are really getting at Coventry and the crowd are loving it. Wrexham switch it across to Cleworth. Sheaf turns nicely but just loses his footing, and that allows Mason Clark to pick it up, driving down the left. Narrow. Sheaf takes him out. He'll be booked for that surely.
Yeah,
Sheaf.
That's a silly tackle. Doesn't need to make that challenge. Quite deliberately he's taken the foul, but yeah, he's definitely taken a booking there, but I don't think he needed to actually do that.
And it's close enough to goal for it to be an issue, and if he fouls him 10 yards further back, maybe you can put it into the taking one for the team category, but by the time he could catch Mason Clark, he was much too close.
Yeah, he's just had a couple of frustrating minutes, Ben Sheaf. The free kick that he gives away, loses the ball inside after what was a nice idea on the turn. I think it's just a frustrated tackle, isn't it? He's just lashed out a little bit. He's just got to be careful now for the rest of this game.
And of course, we know a team of Coventry's quality can punish you for that sort of thing. Again, it's Hadji Wright and Grimes on it. Again, Hadji Wright with a deliberate run-up. Last time he did that, and then Grimes ripped in a good free kick. It's left of centre, about 25 yards out. A hush goes over to Stoke Kairas. Three-player wall. The runner either side of it. As it's right, he drills it into the wall. Ref's got to stop play here because they hit. Was it Hyam flush in the face?
It's Max.
Max, yeah.
Max is down there. Yeah, that's a sore one. That.
Yeah, that was a nasty one. Wasn't that? Mason Clark, interestingly, was standing behind the wall. He looked well offside, and I think Wrexham could have made a case if that had gone in that he would have been in Okonkwo's view as well. Anyway, Cleworth's up without treatment. Throw in left-hand side. Van Eywick, excellent, usual right back for Coventry. He's got a huge throw, but he's suspended tonight. So instead it's played short by Bidwell, gets it back and knocks it off his man. It ricochets away, and good work by Mason Clark to win it, but equally good work by Cleworth to stick to his man and half clear it. Mason Clark picks it up, neat ball inside. Sakamoto draws the foul. Yeah. Wrexham aren't happy, but I thought Sakamoto did ever so well there just to make sure he got his toe ahead of Sheaf, who's just been booked. Despite the Cardiff shouts, don't think the referee is interested in the second yellow, but Sakamoto was clever there.
Yeah, I think it might have been Kakache actually just took it in for Ben Sheaf in that middle of the park almost. And yeah, does he just get that touch? Obviously most people in here don't think he did, but he's done that so well in this game. Just getting his body in the way and just forced the referee to make that decision.
And it's a third shooting chance from the free kick. We're into 1 minute of added time. And this time, Hadji Wright and Grimes have left this free kick.
Well, Wrexham have been so keen, haven't they, around these sort of positions to win the ball back, be decisive, stick that foot in, but they've just got to be so careful because Coventry have so many players that have got the quality in these areas.
It's the third different player to take a free kick now, so they're really testing the waters, really. They've obviously possessed a lot of quality in these positions.
It's a big run up from Thomas Asante. Wrexham got a 4-player wall. Here he comes and drills it over the bar. And yeah, important for Wrexham he did that, because Wrexham have done well to stick in this game and ask questions of Coventry. Couldn't afford to let a goal in right then and suddenly change this. As the ref's bound to blow up now. We've had the 1 added minute. Mia and Mark will be down on the official YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see them on Wrexham Live as the half-time whistle goes and the Wrexham fans are applauding the team warmly. Coventry are a fine team and Wrexham have gone toe-to-toe with them. Very different from the first half against Cardiff, and are really involved in this game. So, Ran says on Ask Wrexham, can we sub in Dalby, Lee O'Connor and Mullen? I reckon they can handle Coventry. Now there's a point. They've done it in the past, haven't they? But Wrexham battling so hard. Ruby Slippers has reduced her estimate on how many players Coventry have on the pitch. She now says still 23 too many Coventry players in defence. It's like living out an episode of Doctor Who. And yeah, Wrexham are fighting hard. Red Star, of course, is Jarvis's partner in crime, and good to see Red Star is. There's a picture here on paying really close attention to the game, nose up against the screen. Jarvis says Red Star's on special teams duty, but they didn't listen. Well, goodness me, what a first half that was. That was absolutely tremendous. Nevertheless, as I warned my handyman ahead of time not to be concerned when he hears me screaming at the TV. Yeah. This is a proper test, isn't it? And it's really intense from both teams. You just got to look at these levels that Wrexham are finding and say, yeah, we can do this against Coventry. We did it against Middlesbrough. The team is really settling well into this division. And I'm not going to be satisfied with consolidation. I've got to be honest with you. Good stuff from Wrexham, who are showing heart and quality. You can't ask for much more than that. Jarvis is on fire, says I finished that can of margarita inside 20 minutes. 12%. Well, it's that sort of game, isn't it? I've got to tell you, I haven't had a chance yet to speak to the guy I mentioned earlier, Steve Griffiths, who is sitting 2 seats along from me. He's doing a commentary for BBC West Midlands. But I had an encounter with him when I was a kid that I've got to tell you about. He is an absolute gentleman. And when I was about 80 years old, he was Liverpool's backup keeper. And my mum and dad took me to Anfield. The Liverpool team of Dalglish, Graham Souness, all these great players in the late 70s, early 80s. They took me there. Liverpool were getting a bus to Melwood, their training ground, and so they knew I'd be able to go and get some autographs. So Ogrizovic is there, and I'm getting all the players. Liverpool had an Israeli fullback called Avi Cohen, and I didn't know this, but he wasn't there. He was off playing for Israel. And so, unknown to me, Grizovic, who's walking behind me right now, the man himself, comes up and to my mum and says to her, because I had a Liverpool poster and I was getting it signed. He comes up to my mum and says, Cohen's not here. Give me the poster and I'll say that I'm going on the coach because he's already on the coach, and then I'll forge his signature. So he did. He went on the coach and forged Avi Cohen's signature and came back and handed it to me and said, there you are, mate, I've got Avi's signature for me. I'm thrilled. I've got all of them. My mum told me. I don't know why she told me. She was so impressed with the act of generosity by Griffiths. So she told me the moment he'd gone back on the bus. But what a lovely fella. So I'm determined to see him after the game and just tell him thank you so much for that act of kindness. That was superb. Chris Malika on Ask Wrexham saying, I know it's Halloween, but Coventry is scary. Then again, so are we. Yeah, absolutely. We are really showing what we've got here, aren't we? I'm in danger of being an unpopular man in Casadel Griff because, well, I'm here. on Halloween. So Mrs. G is on her own, facing the hordes. The pattern tends with our house to be all these lovely, charming little kids come from 5 o'clock onwards with their little pals, all in their fancy dress, and their parents all waiting at the end of the drive, and oh, it's lovely. And then we'll run out of sweets, even though we've bought a ludicrous amount of sweets, and we are doling them out, so we're not letting them just take as much as they want, and you'll still underestimate and run out of sweets. And then we'll look at each other in panic, thinking, what now? I'll rush off to a garage and pay far too much for some reinforcements, and then it'll all dry up, and we'll end up with a big pile of sweets that we paid stupid prices for, and basically Mrs. G will help herself and work her way through them. Occasionally, or the last couple of years this hasn't happened, you then get the genuinely scary ones. There'll be a hiatus of about an hour, and then all the older ones come. And they're not in fancy dress, they've just got their hoods pulled over their faces so that nobody can identify them on CCTV. And yeah, you have to give them something, otherwise your tyres will be slashed when you get up in the morning. So I think Mrs. G not too impressed that I've left her to it tonight. So she's also aware that on bonfire night, when I'll be needed on cat soothing duty, which is important, lots of fireworks on bonfire night, I'll be in Portsmouth. So I'm missing the 2 nights of the year when she actually wants me to be around. So I'm going to have to make it up to her somehow. Any ideas on what I can do to make it up to her, let me know. Maybe I should get Stephen Griffiths' autograph for her. I think it'll mean absolutely nothing to her. Wouldn't that be nice of me? Jarvis saying it was a good hit by O'Brien, the one from outside the box. Shame he didn't do it earlier. Absolutely right. It was a pity that. Just didn't get the shot off at all. But yes, it's been an exciting. Oh, Ben Parker and Arse Wrexham, quite right, says another Wrexham drinking game. Got to take your chances equals drink. Yeah, in a game of this intensity and quality, and against a side like this, got to take advantage of your chances. Coventry were always going to take one. You felt they've really. That's why they're top of the table, isn't it? To be fair. So, yeah, Wrexham facing Coventry, a team that we've got a decent record against, actually. Had a couple of 5-1 wins here, although admittedly they're going back quite a long way. One was in the 60s when there was a weird incident. Wrexham has a captain, manager Ken Barnes, who played in the 50s for Aston Villa and Man City, and by all accounts was seen as the best player in England who hadn't been capped by England. At the end of his career, he comes to manage Wrexham. He did very well. He got us promoted to the 3rd division, the first promotion in our history in the late 50s, and was still playing. Again, apparently, he was a very hard taskmaster and he had a lot of quality about him, even although he was quite old. Didn't do an awful lot of running, but his players weren't going to tell him to run because they'd be dropped the next week. But he was famous for his penalty taking and for being a bit awkward, and they came together with a perfect connection in this match. Wrexham are winning 2-1. It was a game which basically for the first half hour Coventry dominated, and then after that caves completely. So it was 1-0 after half an hour to Coventry. Wrexham come back, winning 2-1 at the break. 5 minutes in the second half, Wrexham get a penalty. Barnes, I guess, it was famous for his reliability from the penalty spot. He steps up and scores. Referee says take it again. There were Wrexham players in the penalty area. Barnes is furious, has a go at the referee, spots it up again, steps up, and as he's about to hit it again, I think this was his ornery, cussed nature, stops as he's about to hit it and says the keeper moved early, I'm not taking it. So he's made his little grumpy point, steps back, 3rd attempt, takes it, the keeper saves it. Oops. However, the game is remarkably one-sided. I'd take a second half like this. Wrexham score another 3 and win 5-1. we also hit the post twice, missed that penalty, and John Sillett, playing fullback for Coventry, but he would go on to be a legend for them, because when they won the cup in '87, which is one of the great stories of modern English football, he was their manager. Sillett's playing full back in this game and clears 3 shots off the line as well. So missed penalty, hit the post twice, 3 missed shots cleared off line, and 3 goals in the second half. I would take that, I'll be honest. I'll take that amount of chances being made by Wrexham. I promise you. There's another funny incident in a Wrexham game played here involving a goalkeeper. Weirdly enough, a 2-2 draw Wrexham played here in 1906, before the Football League expanded. So Wrexham and Coventry were both in the Birmingham and District League, and we drew. The first goal was a mistake by the Wrexham keeper, who, wait for it, was named Coventry. Suspicious? Maybe. It's interesting reading the match report from that time, which 119 years ago is really different from what you would see now as a match report, because the goalkeeper is criticised for letting the goal in because he tried to save the shot with his foot, which the reporter makes a lengthy speech saying this is not what goalkeepers are supposed to do. Well, the way he describes it, and of course we can't prove it apart from this, is that he was following a fashion of trying to actually kick it rather than save it. So whether it was quite a weak shot that he decided he could kick rather than just blocking it like Rushworth did so brilliantly in the first half, well, we'll never know. It's his word, and that's it. But yeah, it's been a gripping first half, and let's hope that, well, either Rushworth does something like that and makes an error, or we manage to pile up the chances like Wrexham did in that match. As Wrexham fan says on Ask Wrexham, still very much in this, only down by 1 to the league leaders. That's what I meant when I said good for Wrexham, that free kick went well over the bar. The home crowd lively, keep the pressure on with the noise, come on you Reds. Well, I walked around the pitch quite late on today because I was over on the far side to do an interview with Dior Angus for the fans in the executive boxes in the Macron stand, and walking back across, yeah, the noise was bubbling. It was great, and they've really got into this game. So Wrexham have just got to be a bit more clinical. Should I give you something for the drinking game? Yeah, go on. It is Christmas after all. Got to take the chances. Got to take the chances. Sherry is, as opposed to the great picture at Ask Wrexham, draining her can of Wrexham lager. Need another for the second half. This is too stressful. Right, if you're feeling stressful, guys, here's my advice. This is the best team we're going to play against this season. We will play teams of a much lower calibre than this, and if we can play at these sorts of levels, we're going to hurt them. We're really going to hurt them. As out come Wrexham for the second half. Oh, Trago man waiting for the plane to pull away from the gate, listening to Wrexham commentary, hoping we get the equaliser before I have to go on airplane mode for the last bit of the game. Hopefully 2-1 by the time I get Wi-Fi. 5-1. Remember when I heard it first? Trust me. So, oh man. Yeah, let's hope we can perform for you. That would be superb. So, ooh, Aidan B. Islanders put a terrifying gif up with me turning into an even older man. Good Lord, that's terrifying. That's Halloween at its worst. Jeesh. I put a podcast up on the Patreon yesterday about 10 years ago when we played Barrow on Halloween, and I had the brilliant idea of marketing it to try and get more fans in as Barroween, and it was quite a memorable match. Won it 4-1. Scary picture of Robbie Evans, our midfielder, Photoshop with fangs and blood pouring out of his match on the back page of the programme. Oh, that was quite something. Right, so Wrexham are about to restart. Well, they'll have to wait for a bit because, of course, now with the dugouts on the far side of the pitch from the tunnel, we've got a crowd walking across the pitch in order to get across there, which always holds play up. And last house is Frank Lampard making his late run. as he did when he was a player. What a legendary player he was, Lampard. He was no Steve Gerrard, but he was good enough. Played for England, of course. Came second in the Ballon d'Or. As actually Ellis Sims, the Coventry substitute, a big striker, did his apprenticeship with Everton. He's also late coming across, but finally now Lampard and Sims are there. Referee checks that Okonkwo and Rushworth are ready, and it's time to say go once more for the second half. Windass just waiting for the go-ahead from the ref, who in turn waited the go-ahead from the TV men, of course. This is live on TV, and away we don't go, because Windass didn't wait for the whistle, and we're going to have to go again. But boy, this is a gripping, beautifully balanced match as Wrexham restarted, and there's an awkward one from Hyam, who punts it down the line. Moore wins it, but the second ball won by Grimes, and now it's Coventry trying to surge forwards through Thomas Asante. Lays it off nicely, fed down the line by Bidwell. Challenge from Kabore is a robust one. Mason Clark does really well, great battle, and in the end it's a Wrexham throw. Good hassle by Kabore. That Wrexham want to see that from the outset.
Yep, and Wrexham need to continue what they did in that first half. They were so good in moments and create some real good chances. Just need to take those chances, really. That's just the difference for this side at the moment.
Yeah, bottoms up, everybody. We've been told it's a drinking game now. Every time we say we've got to take those chances, well, Sherry's already got his second pint of Wrexham lager out. You can see on the picture there. Well played. You've made a lot of people very happy. As Coventry have the ball at the back and are looking around for options. Rushworth coming out from the back. Knocks it long. Hyam gets up. Comes off the back of his head. Throw to Coventry. 20 yards out. Taken back. And then fed once more to Kessler Hayden. Wrexham have good shape, and the ball is forced backwards. And Wolfenden will feed it in turn to Rushworth. He knocks it long through the middle. Sakamoto again looking to get there in the air. Well won by Hyam. He's not the biggest Sakamoto, but he's got a good leap on him, hasn't he? And he can cause issues in the air.
Yeah, he's game, isn't he? He gives everything a go. He gets in front of the defender. He's always trying to just get something on the ball or make sure that the defender's not getting a free header.
Throw down the line. Firmly headed clear by Scar. Well won then by Grimes, and the ball head tennis in midfield. O'Brien fighting, wins it. But yeah, neither senior ever get the ball down. Good foot in that by Matty James, but again the 50-50 for Sakamoto. Brilliant skill, back heels it. Past Kakache, chases it. Kakache fouls him. Wrexham fans aren't happy. Will the ref go to his pocket after the foul Kakache gave away at the end of the first half? No, just gives the free kick. But Coventry will be, I think, happy. They're kind of keeping Wrexham at arm's length and getting plenty of the ball to start of this half.
That's a great bit of skill as well from Sakamoto. A little back heel through the legs. Yes, it's difficult to defend that. No wonder Kakache's brought him down.
Yeah, terrific that, wasn't it?
That's straight out of Showboating, if you remember that, off Soccer AM.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we know an ex-Wrexham player that used to be on that quite a lot, Lee Trundle.
Well, here's the free kick now. Wrexham holding a line just outside, just inside the box. Ref is taking his time before he gives the go-ahead. And now he does. It's whipped into the near post, headed firmly clear by Sheaf. Windass jumps and manages to touch it on, giving Wrexham a bit more time to get out. And again, Wrexham get up quickly, and the ball's forced back to Rushworth, who hits it long and left-footed. It's cute work by Mason Clark, jumping backwards into Cleworth, but he can only head it out for a throw to Wrexham. O'Brien Back to Cleworth, who has to get rid of it first time. Left-footed, Windass in the air, does really well, gets up early, beats his man to it. He's slow to get up, mind. And when James steps in, he can't win. A good tackle out by Sheaf. Windass is still down and looking in pain on the halfway line as Wrexham come forward. Sheaf, good ball. Nice return ball by O'Brien. He then spreads it nicely. Kabore, Windass up now. Kabore running at his man, gets into the box, round the outside, drills it across the face. Well defended by Kitching. O'Brien's won it back. Kabore lays it back to Cleworth. Cuts on his left foot, hits the shot! Just wide! My word, they were right behind that. And you can see it was just settled, foot outside. And it looked the way it was moving like it was going to curl in and just didn't quite enough. Great effort.
Oh, it's a fantastic strike from Max. Does everything right apart from just seeing it nestle in the net. I think everyone's worked really well there. Kabore's really done well. O'Brien. And then Maxi just showing that support, cutting on the inside and then, using his left foot. Clearly, Max hasn't got a weaker foot.
Yeah, it reminds me of one he got away from home last season. Outside the box, where he just whips it back in. Just finds that bit of space. Really good play.
Nice movement by Wrexham until Moore's touch is just a bit too heavy and Coventry can break here. Thomas Asante playing it out to Mason Clark, who's got Cleworth isolated, goes down the outside of him, stands at the far post, too much on it. It'll be kept in though on the right hand side. And Kessler Hayden feeds it back into midfield. Wolfenden feeding it down the line. Sakamoto's gone outside. Nice run inside by Kessler Hayden, who receives the ball. Sheaf sticking to him well. Wrexham think it's gone out. Linesman doesn't agree. Sakamoto's got movement inside him again, but feeds it back. I don't mean like John Hurt in Alien. That sort of movement inside him is totally different. Coventry are forced back to the halfway line. O'Brien herring forwards eagerly, put pressure on, forces a long ball, and it goes through to Okonkwo. That was good. Oh man, this is exhausting. Here is Cleworth feeding it into Matty James with his space in his half. And now Sheaf bringing it forwards. It's all very congested. Sheaf looks for the expansive ball down the left, looking for Kakache. Brilliant pass. It's good work to stick with him by Kessler Hayden, but Kakache turns him, crosses just too far for Moore. Wrexham feel he's being held, and well, he certainly is off the ball. Referee not interested. Not that you see those given often, as Sakamoto goes surging forwards. Great ball. Mason Clark 1-on-1. Good recovery by Kabore, but Mason Clark still goes, and Cleworth with a brilliant block. I mean, the crowd are booing the ref. You don't see those given often when they're so far off the ball, but certainly Bidwell was not going to let go then of Moore, as here now is Thomas Asante. Kabore's tight to him. He pulls it back. Bidwell now, 25 yards out. Little give and go. He's been nice run ahead of this man. It's pulled in by Grimes. Good foot in by Scar, stretching ahead of his man, but Coventry gets to the second ball. Allen works it wide. Fed back to the halfway line. This is intense. It's
a real basketball match, isn't it? It's real end-to-end stuff.
Isn't it? Just a misplaced pass for once. Forces Coventry backwards. They keep the ball. Wow. That's Rushworth drilling an inaccurate ball into the dugout for a throw. You can't give a penalty for that, really, I don't think, but it was daft defending. As Wrexham squandered the ball.
Yeah.
They're saying off the ball happening here.
Whoa. It's Moore and Kitching coming together. Ref's gone to his pocket. So what is going on here? Off the ball. Wrexham fans chanting for a red card. Let's have a look and see if we get a replay that we can show you, or tell you about at least.
Well, it's only making this place louder. Wrexham fans can almost smell there's something coming, something in the air. Just going back to the Kiefer Moore chance, I think that's somewhere where maybe Wrexham have been guilty of doing, trying to just only look for Kiefer Moore in the box. There were a number of red shirts on the edge of the area. I think if Kakache gets his head up a bit sooner, maybe he spots them, because at the moment the Coventry players have marked Kiefer Moore really well in their own box.
A yellow for each of them, Moore and Kitching. Moore's complaining about the penalty shout still. You don't tend to see them given because the ball was miles away, although Kitching did grab hold of him and held on to him for an eternity. They're showing a replay of the penalty instance rather than what happened afterwards. And I mean, he is making no attempt to play the ball, grabs hold of Moore and runs away from goal. That has to be said. For Kitching it was. when the ball was in the air. I don't know. O'Brien, that's lovely play, feeding it forwards, and unlucky. Sheaf tried to find Windass. O'Brien does find it. Windass cutting in from the left, hits the goal line, drills it off his man. It spins back onto Windass for a corner. A goal kick, beg your pardon.
Seems like every time Wrexham get the ball in wide positions, Kiefer Moore hits the 6-yard box, but everybody else kind of seems to just stay outside the box. It'd be nice to commit a couple of bodies forward and not rely on Kiefer Moore to win the header.
Because we haven't really picked him out in the air as such yet, have we? When he's getting in there, just the one target, like you say, though.
Yeah, but Coventry are doing a great job. One's pinning him and the other one's going and winning the header.
Still having a replay of the instant off the ball which led to the 2 yellow cards as Kakache does well, wins it and steps away from Sakamoto, plays the through ball. I think Windass looked offside if he'd got there. Not by much, and he is trying to get in behind that defence. He is more now in the middle of the pitch. This is just the same again, just like the first half, so intense.
What would be really interesting though is if Wrexham can get a goal now. Obviously Coventry haven't conceded for a few games, and it would just be good to just question them a little bit more.
Sheaf again looking to play that ball over the top. This time it's dealt with comfortably enough, but he's found joy with those balls down the left, as the long ball by Rushworth isn't kept in by Sakamoto. It's a throw to Wrexham on the halfway line. Wrexham fans making superb noise, probably inspired by the fact that Jason Rosen is here, left the DC Porch Club a man down. Vaughan Spencer and Tom McWalters are having to make noise themselves from the DC area. Hope you guys are enjoying the game as Scar touches it on. And it's nice snappy passing. O'Brien popping it back to Kakache. Wrexham feed it back into their own half. Hyam has to be sharp to find Scar in his own D. Comes driving forwards 10 minutes into the second half. And Wrexham moving it around, drawing Coventry onto them. Sheaf nicely. Kabore around the corner is good. Good tackle by Bidwell. But Wrexham pick it up, and Sheaf quickly switches to the left. Kakache in space. Sakamoto getting back to try and head him off. Kakache delivers early beyond Windass, headed away by Bidwell. Unlucky. Sheaf tries to take a neat little touch, but it was read well by Mason Clark, who drives forwards, rides an attempt to foul him by Sheaf, plays in right, who drills it across the face, just wide. To be fair, Okonkwo got down well, had it covered, but again, Coventry just showing their, like the goal, their danger on the break.
Yeah, and Sheaf trying to just nick away at the ankles there, not really doing a great job defensively, and yeah, we was all a bit worried that he might pick up another yellow for that, but yeah. Coventry are so good on the break. A real threat every time they do go forward.
Ball over the top, and Kabore's done brilliantly. Is he fouled? Linesman says goal kick. The Wrexham fans behind the goal are so animated, furious with that.
Nah, they've just got their legs tangled there. It's one of them. It's just unlucky.
They're both going so quickly. They're both going to end up on the floor inevitably, aren't they? Looking at the replay of it. I mean, Kabore's done brilliantly. He's just nip ahead of him and get ahead to it to try and draw the contact. But Bidwell's eyes are on the ball, to be fair to him. Not that I wouldn't complain if he gave it, you know. In midfield now, the ball works wide, and here now, surging forwards, Kessler Hayden. Ball fed back into midfield. Grimes feeds the right back once more, up against Kakache, feeds it to the corner of the box. And Coventry just working little triangles and looking for the opportunity to find his ball forwards. Moore does ever so well, bundles his man down and comes out with the ball and hits a long diagonal to Wendass's head. Knocks it down to O'Brien against last defender. He takes him on, beats him. Brilliant recovery by Wolfenden. O'Brien looks certain to score then as Moore, great ball again, switches for Kabore, who's got space on the right. Wrexham pouring forwards. 3 men in the box. Kabore takes on his man, hits the goal line, pulls it back again. The near post defended so well, this time by Bidwell, who then drives forwards. O'Brien does excellently. Bidwell goes to ground. The referee rightly says no foul. And Wrexham can continue again to press on. Oof. Here now is Kakache. Moore's the only player in the box once more. Kakache takes on and beats his man. Gets in the box, pulls it back. Sheaf tries a little cute turn. Can't manage it. Hits a shot, deflects off Moore. That takes all the pace off it. And Rushworth can just wander around to receive it. Breathless once more though. Wowee.
What a game this is, by the way. Incredible. Wrexham seem to have having a little spell now, which is great. They've gone cut a little bit more direct as well. Keeper Moore hitting that long diag into Windass. Windass with a very clever header inside to O'Brien. He just couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet.
Great recovery though, wasn't it, as well? He doesn't look like he was going to do it. It's here comes Wrexham again. Kabore to Windass, wide of the goal. Places the ball! Wrexham equalise! And it's been coming! Brilliant stuff. The crowd, the players all in unison, surging forwards. And Mark said, how do Coventry react? Well, we'll have to find out now because Moore's back on the goal trail. And Wrexham, with half an hour left, of giving Coventry a proper game.
Well, it's more than deserved. Wrexham have been absolutely brilliant in this second half. Continued to have some really good bits of play like they did in the first half, but have put Coventry under massive, massive pressure. They're really testing their credentials. And Wrexham, you have to say, look the favourites to go on and get the 3 points in this game at the moment.
It's a much deserved goal as well, by the way. Wrexham have really been putting the pressure on. They've mixed up the way they're playing, the different styles. They're playing long, they're playing short, they're playing the balls into good crossing areas, and it's good for Wrexham to finally pick out someone with a cross and a very clever finish from Kiefer Moore.
It's a hell of a finish, isn't it?
It's a great finish. It's exactly what you need to do as a striker, just get that connection, get that contact. But it's a great ball in from Josh Windass as well. Just gets that little bit of curve to take it away from the Coventry man.
He almost cushions the ball with the outside of his foot and steers it home. It's a very good finisher.
And full stretch as well to keep that control, not put it over. I've got to say, all the crowd went up and I couldn't see the linesman and I was nervous. I couldn't tell if it was going to be offside or not. And looking at the replay, both Windass and Moore borderline calls those, I tell you. But we get the call, and now the Wrexham fans are enjoying how quiet the Coventry fans are, just as the Coventry fans are mocking Wrexham in the first half. You can't call this Wrexham crowd quiet, so can you?
Absolutely not. It was some let off when that ball hit the back of the net, wasn't it? This place just absolutely erupted, and I'm sure they're going to continue singing their hearts out for the rest of this game.
Yeah, singing top of the league, you're having a laugh. The Wrexham fans, lovely touch by James, who is unlucky, but in the end has played forwards. But I've got to say, in an understated way, James has been excellent here. There's now Coventry come forwards down the right. Sakamoto once more goes in his right foot this time, wins a corner, drilling it against Hyam. Oh, still half an hour left of this. Boy, oh boy, anything could happen in the next half hour.
Got to commend Lewis O'Brien on his work rate as well. He's doing a great job defensively helping out, but he's also making that third man running behind. He's found some really good pockets in behind the Coventry midfield, but he's made that run in behind plenty of times now.
Oh, Wrexham, to a player, have really stepped up to the mark here. But here's the corner now. Grimes ripping it in nicely. Great header by Scar. It comes back out to Kessler Hayden, who works it wide, and Grimes now sweeps a ball back in. Dangerous here again. Scar wins it. Moore with a crucial challenge because Wolfden nearly got to it first. And O'Brien accelerates and gets their 2-on-2 break. And he nearly sends Windass clear. It was just, he did so well to get there and just couldn't get enough relievage on his header to find Windass as Wrexham win it back well. And it's cleared by Hyam.
Yeah, well, I could feel Kessler Hayden, his anxiety from up here. He was just nervous, didn't know where to go. Lewis O'Brien commits to it, and it's just a difficult one, isn't it, when it floats up to get the power on that header.
He's done brilliantly to get there. And then the trouble is that he's sort of skipped already and is on his way down when the ball's arriving, and he can't quite get the pace on it. Coventry, understandably, are preparing a sub because this is not going the way Frank Lampard wanted to be. Second half, Wrexham are looking terrific. Although Coventry's quality is such, you still can see they could strike. That's nice footwork by Thomas Asante. Scar has stepped up out of the back three, stuck with him. He's getting back into position now. It's played over the top. Cute idea. Attempt by Mason Clark to draw a foul with contact off the ball with Scar. Ref's not interested. Okonkwo, that's a good throw. Sheaf now in the middle of the pitch. Kabore in space on the right. Instead he slides a good ball to Windass. Nice first time layout to O'Brien, who pops it back to him. And Windass in the end runs into trouble. Fights hard to try and hold Thomas Asante up, and James Brilliant tackle going to ground, wins it. And now Gabore's got a run at Bidwell here. 3 players ahead of him. He cuts inside, then accelerates, looking to get around the outside. Drills it off in for the corner. The crowd are going nuts here. The noise is tremendous.
Some really good defensive play then from Matty James as well. It looked like Coventry about to counter-attack, and he just snuffs out that danger, a sliding tackle, and then puts Wrexham back on the attack again.
We made Middlesbrough make 4 changes at half-time, the second team in the league. Coventry are preparing 2 subs now. I think that tells you how we've done in these matches. Here's the in-swinging corner then for Wrexham. Crowded 6-yard box. O'Brien stands it beyond everybody. That'll be a goal kick. Yeah, the work rate's been brilliant. Also, I mean, in the build-up to that, although Windass lost it in the end, some of the technical play, the fast one-touch passing between then O'Brien and Windass and some of the others as well going forward has been a joy to watch.
Yeah, I just feel like Wrexham have just had this game in their total control in this second half. It just feels like that sort of vintage Wrexham we've come to know over the last few years at home. The sort of atmosphere in this stadium, the way they're playing, fans getting behind every single tackle.
100% right. Changes aren't made, yes. Thomas Asante wins the header. It's volleyed clear by Hyam. Moore gets up, flicks on well. Windass, unlucky, just dropped behind him. He tries to a Michael Owen against Argentina, sort of back heel flick to keep control of it, and couldn't quite. It was a hell of a difficult thing to try, and he nearly pulled her off. It's got to be remembered, of course, that the likes of Windass and Sheaf at some point Wrexham will have to changes. Well, it looked like it had gone out, but Coventry continued. Linesman gets his flag down, and Allen switched it nicely to Sakamoto on the right. Feeds it down the line. Kesler Hayden again is so busy up and down that right-hand side. Sakamoto decides to go around the outside, then back onto his left foot, feeds it in nicely, and it's not quite laid off accurately by Thomas Asante, who had options then. Not the best clearance by Wrexham. Matty James steps up and hassles Allen and forces him to play it back into his own half. That sort of decision-making has been good by Wrexham. Just those little things, snuffing out danger without winning the ball necessarily. Good tackle by Sheaf in midfield. The ricochet favours Thomas Asante, and the referee has done well. Well, linesman has helped Wrexham out there. He tried to run it behind for the corner and barged into Kakache, and the linesman spotted that, gives Wrexham a free kick.
Yeah, Sheaf then tracking back. It's like a tackle, but it almost turns into a pass back into his own defensive zone, and Kakache doesn't give up on it, does his best to try and keep the ball in play and wins the foul.
Coventry make the changes then. Thomas Asante comes off, and I'm not that surprised in a way that he's come off, because he's top scorer in the league. He's found it quite difficult really to get into the game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Wrexham have done really well so far to just keep him quiet, and that's what you've got to do to a player who is just full of confidence, he's just full of form and full of goals at the moment. We've really restricted him. Thomas Asante and Haji Wright, who's also gone off at Ellis Sims, who's a bit of a similar sort of build in terms of his physicality.
Yeah, Sims up front, like I say, similar type of player. Very strong as the Coventry defensive header goes awry. They managed to recover. Poor pass out from the back though, and Kabore's got a chance to drive forwards. Allen is sprinting to try and get there, but Kabore keeps going and delivers a cross in and wins a throw right by the corner flag. Kabore's been such a threat. He's terrified Coventry's defence.
Even looking at Coventry's subs there, you've got 2 players coming on the pitch that can score goals as well, so it's almost a like for like. They're going to drop Torp in a little bit deeper, but yeah, Sims will go up as Wright did, play almost on his own and let Torp get in the hole like Asante was trying.
Windass with the cross, and Moore scores! Wrexham take the lead. Kiefer Moore again, brilliant ball in by Windass to the far post, and Moore just made enough space to step on the blind side of his man and heads it inside the post. Brilliant ball in, brilliant header, and Wrexham out of nothing are ahead.
Well, it's that duo again. They're just lighting up this game at the moment. It's a brilliant little touch in by Windass. He just feels, has a look, he knows he's got that little bit of space to just get that touch in, and and the ball is just perfection. And how many times have we said it in this game? Those crosses, if it lands on keeper Moore's head, if he beats that Coventry defence, we're in with a chance. And he gets his second and puts Wrexham ahead.
Wow. What a ball. What a cross.
Brilliant from Josh Windass there. Actually, to have the time around him, turn, get a great cross in, and really intelligent play from keeper Moore to just pull on the shoulder. He almost nudges the defender under the ball.
So Moore has 2, and Wrexham leads the only unbeaten team in the top 5 divisions. Wrexham get a free kick as Kakache was clattered into from a long diagonal.
I said it before though, that when Coventry concede, it would be very interesting to see how their tactics change. They made 2 subs. Frank Lampard's put 2 players on trying to change it, but I think it was almost a defensive mistake that caused that bit of pressure. It was a bad pass into midfield. I think Kabore ends up cutting it out, and then they then go on the break.
And they allowed Windass that little bit of time, didn't they, really, in the corner of the box. And he's the sort of player who can kill you if you do that. Okonkwo drilling it down the flank, looking for Windass. It'll bounce through for Rushworth. He takes it comfortably in the box and is immediately looking to get out. So yeah, Victor Torp as well as Ellis Sims. There's a miscontrol by Mason Clark. Throw to Wrexham. The Wrexham fans loving that. The top 2 scorers in the division subbed. Tells you everything you need to know about the intensity of Wrexham's performance. Windass around the corner from the throw. Can't find Kabore. But Kabore gets a good foot in. Throw on the halfway line to Coventry. I've got to say, I really like Torp. He's a great midfielder and he'll strike the ball from outside the box. He's got a hell of a shot on him.
It's not often you see someone with a shirt tucked in too.
Oh God, that's true. What
It's a bit of a throwback.
And he's won the ball here on the left-hand side. A heavy touch by Sheaf, who's buzzing around him now. Torp is very calm on the ball, feeds it backwards. And it's nicely worked, and Torp's chance to cross now. Swings it in well, but the header is not struck well by Ellis Sims. And Okonkwo can take it comfortably.
Yeah, early signs though, the sort of damage Torp can cause. He's going to play with such fluidity across that front 3.
Well, Kabore has been flattened by Mason Clark. I think the ref, I think he's given a throw, has he? I got to say, I think Mason Clark very lucky if that's the case, because he was grabbing all the Kabore. He took a few bites at him. It is a free kick. And again, shirt pulling like that. Is he a bit lucky not to get a card? Anyway, free kick in the halfway line. 2 more subs ready for Coventry, it looks like, over there. Cleworth stands up the diagonal. Moore is attacking this, can't quite reach it. He was handled quite well there by Wolfenden, who just blocked him off. But wow, Wrexham. It is 2 changes being ready by Coventry. Wrexham are getting ready to make a change. Like you said, you wouldn't expect Sheaf to have 90 minutes in him, and Dobson, I can see, is getting stripped off. As a good player to bring on at this point in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, we talk about obviously Coventry's strength from the bench, but we've also got a number of quality players on ours too. George Dobson, right near the top of that list, I would say, so far this season.
As Wrexham fighting hard, win the ball back in their own half. Cleworth with the back pass. Sims will be beaten to it by Okonkwo. Wasn't the best back pass, start by Cleworth. I thought he'd put it on our heads for a second then. But it's it hit the stanchion holding up the roof. Throw in, and Coventry will make 2 more changes now. Wrexham will also make the alteration. With Dobson ready to come on. You'd assume this will be Sheaf, and it is. Sheaf against his old team, getting a standing ovation. He's class, isn't he? Oh, Okonkwo down hurt as well.
Yeah, it looked like he just rushed that kick a little bit, and it looked like he was feeling his hamstring after. This will be a concern for Wrexham. Hopefully it is just a touch of cramp where he's just had to accelerate and stretch, but yeah, it didn't look very nice.
Well, it's been treated as such, and he's back up now. No physio involved. There's Coventry now making their changes. Wrexham we'll have to see what they can do. Bidwell and Allen have come off. And Josh De Silva, the Welsh international, of course, will come on. Straight swap on the left-hand side. Last time Coventry were behind mid-September. So Cleworth with the ball in his hands. Throws it down the line. Moore touches it onto Kitching. Throws to Wrexham 30 yards out. Windass with the ball in his hands is not going to be in any huge rush.
It's really tough for Wrexham at the moment. You don't know whether to just keep the foot on the gas, keep going for it, but then you risk burning out. Or do you try and slow the game down and frustrate Coventry? But then they're so good in the counter-attack that you just don't want to give them any encouragement.
As the ball given away, an awkward ball backwards by Scar, who couldn't control his ball forwards, and now there's danger. Mason Clark cuts in the box. Can he get the shot off? Pulls it back edge of the D. It's worked across to the left-hand side by Grimes, pulled back to him by De Silva, stands it up to the far post, the man over there, but it ricochets against Kakache, who did well to keep tight with Sakamoto, and it's cleared. Ball comes back in, looks like a free kick to Wrexham, and the referee does give it on the edge of the box.
Yeah, well, Mark was just saying, you don't want to give Coventry anything up too easily because you just feel like they will punish you, and that will be the really frustrating thing. If Wrexham do make something happen by their own mistakes. Just saw an occasion there with Dan Scar, just maybe a little off balance, just plays really dangerous ball back inside when all our red shirts are far more ahead of up the pitch.
Welsh anthem rings out here at the racecourse. We're into the last 15 minutes of this absolutely pulsating game. Wrexham leading 2-1. Okonkwo with a huge kick through the middle. Easy for Kitching to deal with. Smashed back in by Cleworth, and that'll go all the way through to Rushworth. This terrific, breathless match. The Wrexham fans are singing, Ben Sheaf left because you're not very good. Quite like that. As now De Silva turns into trouble and runs it off the pitch. Windass came on the blind side and forced him off the pitch. Nicely done. Yeah, Josh Eccles coming back from injury is the other player who's come on in the middle of the pitch. He intercepts there, the ball played forwards again. No, O'Brien has Eccles swarming around him and holds it off well. Windass, inaccurate pass though. But Moore this time wins it back. Foul given against him. O'Brien complains on Moore's behalf, but Moore doesn't.
This is where Wrexham's squad really does come into its own, and Phil's signings, he signed such experienced championship players that they should know how to cope in these situations. You look at the amount of games Kiefer Moore, Matty James, O'Brien, Windass have all played in the champ.
Mason Clark wins a corner. Good direct play, but Cleworth stuck tight to him. Yeah, game management now. The game has slowed a bit since Wrexham's second goal. Wrexham just need to make sure that they don't allow Coventry to dictate terms while obviously not taking too many chances in pursuit of a third. In swinging corner then from the left-hand side. Lots of players beyond the Okonkwo. It's swept in there, dangerously flicked on really well by Moore. Torp ripped that in with lovely shape. O'Brien's managed to stop it going out and hits a ball forwards that Moore nearly gets to. Wrexham shouted for handball against De Silva, didn't look it. And now it's fed to the left-hand side of the Wrexham box. Mason Clark has a drop deep to get a turn in. And then is fakes to take his man on for the cross comes in. Sims can't control his header and it's cleared by Kakache, but it'll come in again. Sakamoto squaring it. Eccles back to him. Sakamoto running at Kakache again. Fakes to go around the outside and comes in. Whips it in. Dobson there. Clears well. Moore in his own up front. I think he got the touch to that, but he's knocked it back to the edge of his area. But it's given away, and Matty James is brilliantly to beat his man and find Windass. Cool play by him. Dobson under pressure. He keeps his cool and finds Caballero with a chance to run at De Silva, who's isolated. He goes inside him and then drives past him and is fouled. And the referee has given a dive. Well, I really want to see that again because it felt like he could see his leg being kicked away from underneath him. If you're going to give a dive for that, you've got to book Kabore because that's a hell of a big shout.
I thought it was really intelligent play from Kabore to run him on the inside and then cut across him. I thought it looked like a clear foul to myself.
That's a dangerous ball on the back of Wrexham's defence. Sims holds it up. Hyam sticks to him. It's pulled backwards, bit behind Eccles though, so he has to go wide. Sakamoto now, cutting inside, feeds a good ball on the overlap. Cross comes in, overhits, and it bounces. It'll stay in feasibly, will it? No, it's going for the goal kick. And now the fans and Wrexham players are really venting their frustration at the ref. I mean, it looked like there was quite heavy contact on Kabore, to be honest. As a replay now, let's have a look. I'm willing to be proven wrong. He's grabbed him. To me. And he's gone through him with his left foot, I think.
I think it's just maybe the way Kabore landed. His right knee got stuck in the ground and then he's like rolled. So I think that the referees maybe looked at that aspect and thought it was a bit theatrical, but I think that's just the way that he's been rolled.
Kabore goes at such pace. When he feels anything, it's going to be difficult for him to stay on his feet. Yeah. I think there is probably enough in it for the foul and therefore probably a booking as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd think it's got to be a card in that part of the pitch, isn't it? In that situation, because Kabore's left De Silva for dead, and we all know if we've watched Wales play, De Silva's no slouch, but Kabore destroyed him. Wrexham are taking their time over a throw-in, level the edge of their own area, left-hand side. We're into the last 10 minutes now. Throw down the line. Moore pops it off. And it's squeezed forwards by Dobson. O'Brien, brilliant play, beats his man, surges in the middle, finds Kabore in space, running at De Silva again. 3 men at the far post. Kabore rips it in. Rushworth gets across and grabs that on the edge of the 6-yard box. He's just waiting for that Rushworth on his marks on the goal line. And now Coventry come forwards. Eccles to Sakamoto once more, running again at Kakache. Again, that familiar routine. Drives Kakache back around the outside, then comes back in. But Wrexham got men behind the ball. Sakamoto once more, looks to cut inside. Kakache gets close to him and then complains when Sakamoto goes down there. He didn't have much contact on the wide man. Ref gives the free kick though.
As Coventry go searching for an equaliser, you can see that they're really leaving numbers short at the back, and this is where Wrexham are trying to expose them. Kabore's pace is really helping as well on that breakaway. I think everyone knows he's the out ball.
Yeah, Mason Clark has worked back quite well to cover, but understandably in this game situation, he isn't now. And when Kabore goes forwards, it's him against De Silva. And thus far, Kabore looks to be the winner in that battle. It's a free kick in midfield. Torp stands on it. Wrexham hold the line on the edge of the box. 82nd minute. Wrexham readying another substitution. So the ball is stood in towards the penalty spot. Dangerously headed forwards, but Okonkwo clutches it to his chest. A firm header from Kitchings, but didn't really have the direction, and Okonkwo could save. Cleworth now on the edge of his area. Fans getting anxious. Cleworth in control. Good ball. Finds O'Brien, who turns in the centre circle. Holds off Eccles and then does brilliantly to hold off another man and feed it wide. Kakache has got Windass in the middle. Drills it in. Defender gets half a touch to it. And Windass was the only player in there. It was a great run by Windass to try and lose his man. But he was the only target, and now is a sprint down the flank. Sakamoto against Kakache, and Kakache is brilliant to run him to ground. And now Brian's coming, the game is stretched. Windass to Moore, chance for the hat-trick, tight angle! Keeper Moore! Drills it home! And Wrexham are 3-1 up! What a finish! 1-on-1, a tight angle. Keeper doesn't care, keeper scores goals. He's got a hat-trick, sensational!
Hat-trick of goals for Kiefer, hat-trick of assists for Josh Windass. What a game. What a game of football this is.
Well, what a great advert for the Championship as well. It's been fantastic. Just goals, pure football. Absolutely loved watching this game. Kiefer Moore, just hat-trick hero. He's done everything right today. Absolutely deserves that. It's a great finish. You can tell he's already got two. It's such a confident goal. He takes it so well, but it comes from the press from Wrexham again. They win it back quickly, play to the whistle like you're always told. It's a really nice bit of play. Coventry will be disappointed with it, but it's a great running behind. Great little deft ball in from Josh Windass again. And Kiefer Moore does what he's done. the whole game tonight. It's just on fire.
All together now. Parky out. Yeah. This feels very different from Tuesday, shall we say. Wow. 3-1 up. Wrexham's first hat-trick since Paul Mullin got one in March 2024 against Accrington Stanley.
It's the first time as well, I think I've seen Frank Lampard sit down all game.
Wow. Well, I'm sure he's as exhausted as I am. Cluiff knocks it. Oh, Moore is clattered into from behind. Free kick on halfway line. Wolfenden jumping over the top of him.
Well, one thing that's always been consistent in this Parkinson side over the last few years is they always respond. In tough moments, which there haven't been many, they always respond. And one of the men who's been key to that tonight, Josh Windass, getting a full round of applause from the Stoke Kairas. Absolutely deserved. That partnership of him and Kiefer has again tonight been exceptional and could be one to absolutely watch for the rest of this season.
It's Sam Smith who replaces him. Hat-trick of assists for Windass. They're going to keep me busy researching that Wrexham anorak tonight as the ball stood up to the edge of the area. Moore can't get to that, it's cleared. And Sims heads it square. Intercepted by Cluiff, who puts it over the top. Smith backing in well, creates a loose ball, but no one's got close to him. And it's drilled to the edge of the halfway line. Cluiff heads the ball clear. And it's a throw into Coventry, level the edge of their area.
I must commend the different types of goals that he's finished tonight as well. Latching onto a cross outside of the right foot, cushioned home. A really intelligent header. And then that one smashes it low and hard across the goalkeeper. It's the worst, it's a goalkeeper's nightmare, that. Every shooting drill, every striker ever does, every coach will tell them, low and hard across the goalie.
Yeah, what a finish that was. As the ball's played forwards again by Wrexham, it's cleared. Mason Clark in a central position, holds it well, works it wide to the right. 4 minutes left plus added time. Wrexham still need to keep that discipline. Goodness me, Coventry are pouring into the box. The ball's played inside. Torp scoops it on, and Mason Clark, I mean, he was played into an impossible situation. Did well to get the first touch, couldn't do anything with it. And now Moore creates a loose ball, and Smith is after that, hassling De Silva, forced him to go backwards. Now then, driving up from the middle of the pitch is Kitching, who played a lot of his career in midfield, of course, and he's now gone up into the box as the ball's worked wide to Torp. Coventry taking all sorts of risks as Torp rips a great ball in, and good work by Hyam, who tracked Kitching and made sure that the header just went up in the air, and Okonkwo grabs that.
Yeah, it's great defending. Just make sure you just get in the way more than anything. Don't allow them that clean contact.
Chaos at the back there for Coventry. Actually, both centre-backs went up in the same move. And Smith was a bit unlucky when he helped her on, that his header hit Kitching, who gives it away. Moore now, as Smith running ahead of him. Moore, 25 yards out, drills the shot! Too straight. Well held still by Rushworth, because it was really smashed that. This game, it's like basketball now. Coventry had taken so many chances. Oh my word, this is not going to end 3-1, is it? Let's be honest. Eccles coming through the middle, feeds Torp. 30 yards out, he waits for De Silva to come alongside outside him and works it back into the middle of the pitch. Ball carried forwards nicely by Grimes. Wrexham crowding on the sides of the pitch. Mason Clark pulls back. Torp feeds a great ball to Sakamoto, drills the shot and scores. And Coventry are back in this 88th minute. And this incredible game continues. The referee gave a really good advantage when there was a clear foul on Torp. Sakamoto drills it from the edge of the area inside the right post, and that's why they're top of the league. They don't give up. Coventry are back in this.
They certainly are. And it's that man again, Sakamoto. It's a great strike. I didn't think he had enough room to almost take it on. The Wrexham defence did step up. Scar and Hyam put on that press, but he just has that sort of back release, doesn't he? Just strikes it ever so well.
I think the frustrating thing from Wrexham is after they've scored the third goal, they kind of dropped off 10 yards at the back, and it's just invited that bit of pressure.
We still have time-wasting substitutions if we want to make them, as Sakamoto wins it back, and again Coventry are commissing players forwards. Early balls overhit though by Kitching, and despite a brave chase down the right-hand side by Sims, he can't keep it in.
Mark, you did call it. It's not going to finish 3-1.
I wish I hadn't said that now. Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, it's just been an outstanding game, this. And it just shows again, as did last Saturday, what Wrexham have got in terms of quality. I was never a big fan of this whole let's just avoid relegation talk. This side, this squad and this club have got a lot more about them than that. Can they close this out? 89 minutes played exactly. How long will the ref add on as Okonkwo drills a massive kick? More beaten in the air. Crowd think he was climbed on, but he didn't really get off the ground as Wolfton headed it clear. Hyam keeps the ball in, and that's Kakache under pressure, done well to hold off Sakamoto and lifts it over the top of Smith. Edge of the area, forced wide by Kitching. He won't get the shot off. O'Brien is still there, tirelessly running in the box for him. Coventry is so stretched though, they've still got 3 players in Wrexham's half as Wrexham surge forwards. Kakache cuts inside and beats his man, surges into the box and loses control of it. Really good recovery that. Now Kakache keeping tight, forces an error. Moore fighting for it by the corner flag. He thinks it's going to be a corner. It's kept in and drilled clear. Wrexham claim it back in midfield. Cleworth with a sharp ball out to the left, brought down well by Hyam, who clips it forwards. Moore putting his body in the way, thinks he's won a throw. The referee doesn't agree.
Well, I think Sam Smith actually did really well, because that's what Wrexham need to do in these last few minutes. Just still waiting to see what was actually added on. But if they can just manage it as much as possible, it's going to be 5. Oh.
That feels like a lot. There've been no physio on the pitch, I would argue. Matty James is brought off, and on comes Thomason. I mean, I would think it's too much, obviously. I am biased.
1 would have been too much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Wrexham need to close this out now. Goodness me.
Matty James again for me tonight. You said it earlier. Quietly just does his job and does it ever so well. He's done that over the past few games now. It's proven to be a really integral part. That could be a partnership. I know George Dobson started the season so well as well, but him and Ben Sheaf tonight have looked real quality.
Absolutely. Cleworth's under pressure here. Holds off Mason Clark well, drills out of play. When we brought Sheaf in, I was waiting. This is the first time we've seen them on the pitch together. I was waiting. I just thought, oh, that looks like the double pivot I want at the bottom of a box midfield as the throw-in's taken, and Hyam, too strong, runs out of play. Goal kick to Wrexham. We've had now nearly 1.5 minutes of added time. So 5 of them for Wrexham to negotiate. This is the first time we've let in 2 goals in a league game since the Norwich match, which again I think tells you something in terms of how Wrexham have improved. Okonkwo steps up, hits it right-footed. Smith trying to get on the end, flicks her on beautifully. Moore now, edge of the area. Defence responds quickly and Moore is calm. Squares it to Smith, 25 yards out. Smith's going backwards. He works it to Thomason. He's got an overlap and he uses that overlap to play the ball to the halfway line. Wrexham controlling possession sensibly here. Kakache back to the halfway line. Hyam in turn back to Scar, who's got Cleworth available. He goes long instead. Smith is there. Brian runs beyond. Smith gets there first, but doesn't get the header right. And then Dobson is penalised for a foul in midfield. Smith will walk the ball with the ball in his hands to Coventry. Just to waste a little bit of time without drawing the yellow card. Gets a shove in the back from Kitching for his trouble. And now here's Coventry again. Gabori, great work. Snaps in, beats Mason Clark to it. Throw in. We're just over the halfway point of the 5 added minutes. Coventry now working it around at the back. Kitching drives over the halfway line. Works it wide to the left-hand side. De Silva drives forwards, hits an early ball to the far post. Sakamoto nods it down cleverly. Great work by Scar, gets there first. Thomason over the top, looking for Moore on the chase. He's overhit it. Moore will chase and force Rushworth out. And very calm. Rushworth feeds it down the line, keeps the ball in play. Coventry looking to build again from the back. It's fed into midfield. The game again a bit stretched. Wrexham not with that many players in the middle of the parks. It's fed down the side. Good work. Hyam comes across, drills it into the crowd. Throw to Coventry, level the edge of Wrexham's area. 90 seconds left of added time.
Clever play from the fans not to give the ball back.
Yeah, come on, ref, do a decent thing, mate.
But Wrexham just need to stay switched on. Just got to be alive to anything, because Coventry absolutely will be.
Throw in to Coventry. Thrown with height into the box, and a well won by Hyam. Moore helps it on. Now then, O'Brien drives forwards, no one ahead of him. He's going to head for the corner flag, surely. Moore is up there, but O'Brien carries it. Brilliant work. He's carried it over half the pitch to the corner flag, and is then chopped down, is he? Well, the decision's gone Wrexham's way, whether it's a foul or a throw, so who cares what he's given.
We talked about the experience that Wrexham do have in their signings. O'Brien's showing it then. Carrying the ball 50, 60 yards up the pitch, taking it to the corner flag and still winning the throw-in.
Even Kiefer Moore making that back run post. It forces Josh De Silva to make the recovery run himself and get back in. And it's just that determination. He knows Lewis O'Brien probably isn't going to cross that ball into the box, but he's willing to put that effort in.
Throw in taken. Wrexham 17 seconds short of something remarkable. They're holding it in the corner flag. Coventry, can they win it back? They do, but Wrexham looking to pen them in, and it's drilled out of play for a throw to Wrexham. And by the time this is taken, we will have had the 5 minutes. The crowd are telling the ref, get on with it. It felt like a lot to add on. Wrexham have been phenomenal today, and the fans are standing and clapping. They want to hear that whistle. They want to start the party. The ball thrown in towards Moore, who holds it up by the corner flag and battles away. Wrexham have it. Smith is dispossessed in the end. Still the ref goes on. 25 seconds over he's played of a generous 5 minutes, and Coventry's going to give him one last chance to come forwards. Where he got this time from, I don't know. It's a poor ball. Scarbone's it, and that is an outstanding win as Kabore pumps the air and looks into the crowd. Even in the context of what Phil Parkinson has achieved here at this club, this is significant. That was outrageous. Wrexham are the first team to beat Coventry, the last team in the top 5 divisions to lose a match this season, and it's Wrexham who deliver it.
It's just huge. That feels huge. First win at home against Oxford, second win against Coventry City. Wow. Write us off, I dare you.
What a performance. What a team performance. That showed the Wrexham spirit. That's togetherness. That's work rate. That's everything we expect from this team. Phil Parkinson doesn't just put dressing rooms together. He can deliver performances like that.
Oh, I tell you what, if he can put together a dressing room like that, he could be Mr. IKEA as far as I'm concerned. That was utterly outstanding by Wrexham, as the fans now singing to Kiefer Moore. His hat-trick in the second half earns the victory. What a performance. Mia and Mark are off now to do Wrexham Live. What a pleasure it's been to have Mark doing these games with us, and what a game he's had to end it all with as well. Superb from Wrexham, who walk off the pitch to a thrilled ovation from the fans. Coventry, like I said, if they'd won today, would have set a club record 7 wins in a row. They have not lost in the league. No other team could say that in the top 5 divisions. But now they have lost, because we came along. My word, they showed that quality. They put us under pressure. They played some lovely attacking football, but we went toe-to-toe with them from the very start and matched them for quality, matched them for effort. Mason Clark scored in the 22nd minute, but Wrexham are making opportunities as well. O'Brien surging through the middle, had a couple of chances, one of which was denied by an unbelievable save by Carl Rushworth, sticking his foot out to his left. A ludicrous save by him. So at half-time, Coventry ahead, but Wrexham looking very impressive. It's got to be said, the second half was pretty much all Wrexham, in all honesty. In fact, just looking at my notes, where I've written the Wrexham chances down one side and the Coventry chances down the other, I've only written 2 for Coventry in the second half, one of which was the goal they scored in the 88th minute. But Wrexham surging forwards caused all sorts of problems. 3 assists by Windass, 3 goals by Moore. The first two, well, the first one, a lovely ball in by Windass, slotted across the goal mouth, and Moore at full stretch with a brilliant finish. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper, but does well to reach it and keep it under control and steer it outside of his foot at full stretch into the roof of the net. The second is a lovely curling far post cross by Windass, and Moore gets up and plants a terrific header in, having just stepped off his marker inside the post. Rushworth just can't reach it. And then the third, again, Windass creating, Windass feeding Moore in, 1-on-1 with the keeper, but with a very tight angle. What a finish, drills it across the goalie. Bottom corner, the racecourse, which was bouncing from the start, went absolutely insane. But Coventry are champions, they're winners, they don't give up. And as a result of that, well, they came back. Sakamoto, who was so dangerous down the right, cutting inside on the edge of the D and smashing a good goal in. Good work by the ref to play an advantage, as there's a clear foul on the edge of the D, but the ball fell for Sakamoto. Great finish by him. No chance for Okonkwo. And we were then put through, well, a very nervous 5 added minutes. Where the ref got that from, I'm not totally sure. But Wrexham came through it, and in fact, well, we're pretty comfortable in the end, it's got to be said. If you can claim to be comfortable against a team of such calibre as Coventry. I said before the game, surely Coventry win this league. I still think that. But wow, we've shown what we've got about us. And well, Rob McElhenney did say that he doesn't understand what the word consolidation means, and I'm inclined to agree with him. I have all season, and that's the sort of level this team's capable of putting in. To beat a team of that quality, who plays with real quality, is quite something. And Wrexham, well, we did a favour to Coventry last weekend, didn't we? Nearly won at Middlesbrough, got the draw. As Moore is doing the Mullin fist pump